Mountain Dokdo. The tallest mountain of Korea Peninsula was shaped by volcanic activities around 20 million years ago. The East Sea was formed about the same time, and Mountain Dokdo's millennia-long volcanic eruption resulted in Dokdo's birth roughly 4.6 million years ago. Then Ulleungdo followed about 2.5 million years later. Created 2 million years ahead of Ulleungdo, Dokdo underwent millions of years of weathering and erosion to take on the current form. Created by an underwater explosion 2.5 million years ago, Ulleungdo is known for its majestic rocky cliffs. The island is located 3 hours and 30 minutes away from Muko port. Dokdo port, the gateway to Ulleungdo, welcomes us to the island. With the first phase of the trip over, we were relieved that we have fought the highways and arrived safely in Ulleungdo. We were even more elated by the fact that we got nearer to Dokdo. When we arrive in Ulleungdo, a slogan catches our eyes: the loss of Dokdo, the loss of Korea. It was a quite serious sounding phrase, an indication of how precious Dokdo is to Koreans. We hope to find out more about his meaning during this trip.
안녕하세요. 뭐 독도 지도나 그런 거 좀 주시겠어요?
독도 지도만 따로 나와 있진 않고요. 울릉도. 예.
아, 울릉도 지도요?
예.
그래서 같이 나오는 거예요?
Can we have more than one map?
Some guidebook.
First, we went off to explore Ulleungdo, the bigger sister island of Dokdo.
So you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah? Then let's go, huh? Sounds good. Okay.
Would you like to join us on our Ulleungdo expedition? Once we drove out of the narrow alleyways, we were delighted to see a stretch of scenic coastal road.
That's amazing!
Yeah, pretty color, and the water is so clear.
It was absolutely breathtaking to see the perfectly balanced scenery created by the sea and the island.
Oh, that's probably the Dokdo.
Julian must have found out through his research that, weather permitting, you can see Dokdo from Ulleungdo. We decided to visit the most special place in Ulleungdo, the Dokdo Museum. The Dokdo Museum has various old documents and maps that pertain to Dokdo and were published not only in Korea but also in Japan and other countries.
Oh, look at so many documents and maps. There's more one on the circle seems Africa, the square. This must be a Russian one. Yeah, it's a Russian one. And this map is British. Yes, it's British, I guess. Yeah. Being very much at the border Dokdo has been always the object of duality. And I believe those documents just like reflect that in a more historical and perceivable way.
Whoa, this is a French map. So it was really interesting to see that because I never imagined that French map would be there. Dokdo Island was mentioned as Korean island, and the sea around, which has been the topic of disputes, to define the name of the sea. Well, on the map, the French map, it was defined as a Korean sea.
Because this book was published after censoring and approval by the Japanese Ministry of the Interior. It shows strategic points, roads, and sea routes of Korea. Dokdo is named as Takeshima and marked as Korean territory. Japanese documents do call that body of water Choson-he, which is the Sea of Choson, right? Which is the old word for Korea. And so I think for me, as someone who studies diplomacy and international relations, that actually does reflect historically that Japan actually did recognize a very long period in Japanese history where that was actually recognized as Choson-he. So, okay, because I want to ask the professor.
I'm seeing like old documents and old messages written about. I think at the end of the historians, and in the end of like the contemporary history, not maybe to define what's wrong, what's right, but actually being given actually an interpretation of this document.
Located in the easternmost point of Korea East Sea, Dokdo has often been the first target of foreigner invasions. Because of his location, Dokdo was destined to suffer the earliest and grieve the longest. Now, we want to be the ones weeping away the sadness. I was touched when I realized that Dokdo lies in peace beyond the beautiful sunset. Red glows of the sunset are soon replaced by the descending darkness.